What's new at Clark Central? Clark Central in the playoffs, a profile on Officer Terry Reed, and more on this episode of ODTV.
Welcome to ODTV. My name is Jakim Ellison, and I am here with Michaela Richards. The Central volleyball team made their way to the state playoffs this season after being named runner-up in the Region 5A championship. The Lady Glads were also featured in the all-area team. Lauren Covington was named first-team center. Gatsby Chube was named first-team middle hitter. Zakiria Allen was named second-team outside hitter, and Shireen Abuhar was named second-team libero. We've invited head coach Ashley Wegman, assistant coach Stacy Scott, and team captain Gansby Chube in the studio for 3 and Out. What's an experience that you and Gansby has witnessed that made you very angry?
Let's see. I can remember once Gansby was younger. It was definitely, she was a few years ago, maybe 10th grade. And she was just being very lazy at practice and not wanting to listen, so I just kept riding her, and I ended up videoing her at practice to the point where if I were Gansby, I probably would have left, but she just kept on with her bad attitude self and just kept on doing it equally as poor as she was doing it before. So that was the time that I was probably the most angry. But really, Gansby is a hard worker and she works very hard at volleyball.
Okay. And how do you feel about Coach Wegman?
I love Coach Wegman. No, I love Coach Wegman as a coach. She's like the best coach I've ever had. I play a lot of sports.
Are you planning on playing volleyball in college?
Yes, I do. I intend to play volleyball in college.
Would you say your love for volleyball is strong?
Yes, it's very strong.
What made you so passionate about it?
I started playing volleyball my 8th grade year, and I didn't know anything. So when I came to try out my 9th grade year, I didn't even think I was gonna I thought I was gonna barely make the JV team. Seriously, and I did not think I was gonna make varsity. So when I did, it was like, okay, well I'm kind of good, so I should stick to it.
How do you guys feel about Gansby?
Well, we love Gansby too. She showed a lot of progression from 9th grade to now as a senior, and I mean, it's evident in how she was determined to be a better player.
Once again, my name is Kim Ellison, and thank you for letting me interview.
Thank you for having us.
Journey Juice is a new Athens business located at 1428 Prince Avenue. Owner Jim Thomas had the intent on serving Athenians raw, organic, cold-pressed fruits and vegetable juices. Here's Ella Sands with the story.
Here on the corner of Prince and Satula sits Journey Juice, a company that hopes to bring a more healthy juicing experience to Athens. Journey Juice began in June of 2013. Co-owners Jim Thomas, Nabil Aberhard, and Brandon George created the company to bring a new perspective to Athens on healthy living. After months of preparation, the company finally opened its doors. Journey Juice buys the highest quality produce on the market with no pesticides or preservatives. Every Saturday, the company sells their freshly bottled juice at the Athens Farmers Market in Bishop Park. So what makes Journey Juice so unique? The company uses the cold press method in creating their juice opposed to at-home centrifugal juicers. Customers are drawn in by the company's local produce, unique flavors, and positive conduct. All right, so Mr. Thomas, tell me about how Journey Juice began.
Well, Journey Juice began as a creation of 3 partners and I, Nabil, Brandon, and myself, and they were in California for 4 years researching cold press juicing, and the reason we use cold press is it's the healthiest, most nutritious form of juicing. And they're originally from Georgia, and they decided to come back to Athens, and we thought Athens would be a great environment and and community to introduce cold pressed juicing to.
It definitely has been. And so how does Journey Juice and how they juice differ from everybody else's?
Well, we use the cold press method. People are probably familiar with the centrifugal juicer. Cold press is a much slower grind, so there's no heat involved, and then the press actually is a hydraulic press that presses the juice, captures it in liquid form, and then we bottle it, cap it, and it will stay good for 3 days. So our process is different in that it retains more nutritional value and a longer shelf life.
So what's your mission with Journey Juice?
We're trying to bring it back to the way produce was meant for the body to ingest. So by cold pressing and capping, you get all that nutritional value. And then, like I said, we're trying to help our community become more aware of that and that there's a healthy alternative out there.
Ella Sam's Odyssey Online.
Cookout is a privately owned restaurant found in Greensboro, North Carolina. Since 1989, Cookout has been expanding through the southeast of the United States. Earlier this fall, Cookout opened its doors to Athens, Georgia. Here's Jakim Ellison with the story.
There is a new restaurant on the corner of Ellsbridge Road called the Cookout. Cookout is a restaurant that takes pride in the term cookout, with a classic menu that features food like juicy hamburgers and delicious hot dogs. Sounds good, right? Not to mention that they have 40 different kinds of milkshakes, from simple milkshakes like vanilla and chocolate to shakes for the customers with more adventurous appetite like a caramel with strawberry milkshake. Not only is their food delicious, but the prices are very reasonable. Most of their food is sold under $3 to $4, but many customer favorites are 99 cents. Clark Central students are raving about the low prices and unique flavors Cookout has to offer.
Well, I think the best thing is 2 bacon cheese hot dogs and 2 quesadillas and a shake. It's the best $7 ever.
Okay, when I go, I get the chicken tenders, then I get a honey mustard wrap with some fries, and then a Sprite.
The other fast food, you get probably a hamburger at McDonald's for like $5. Or you can get a hamburger and a side of some chicken nuggets or something at the Cookout just for $3.
I feel like you get more food for your money for like the amount you pay.
Cookout is a hot topic at Clark Central. Check it out for yourself to see if it lives up to the hype. This has been Jakim Ellison with Odyssey Online. Smartphone users have probably already noticed that Instagram and Facebook feeds have recently been flooded with personalized comics. Popular app Bitstrips has made its way to the top of the charts on both Android as well as iOS.
Comic strips have bombarded our Facebook profiles with avatar versions of our friends. So what is this app? Bitstrips has hit the top free app charts this week. The creators of Bitstrips are overwhelmed by the incredible response. This app allows you to create an avatar and make several comic strips based on many categories. The app is also a website where you can do the same thing via your computer. One option is to search for your Facebook friends and make comic strips starring them. Another thing you can do is send your friends comic cards via the app. You can also save them to your phone, Facebook, Twitter, and more. Bitstrips will be around, so download it today.
Police team leader Terry Reed leads a 5-person security team at Clark Central. Reed's duties include maintaining order on the campus of CCHS, supervision of sporting events, and school dances. What students probably don't know about Officer Reed is his motivation. Here's Julie Alpar for the coverage.
After more than a decade of patrolling the halls of CCHS, police team leader Terry Reed has been a known face around our school. But how many of our students really know him behind the security office door? After leaving high school, Reed knew he needed some direction in his life, so he then joined the military.
I stumbled upon this criminal justice, and from then on I always wanted to be either police or GBI, FBI.
Upon leaving the military, Reed put in several applications, and the first to contact him was Clark County. Many students believe Reed comes off as strict, but he tells another side.
I'm straightforward with them, and a lot of them seem to think I'm mean, but I get behind the doors, and I would do anything in the world to help anybody succeed. Now, you wasn't told at an early age that you don't wear hats in the building? Excuse me?
They're doing your little profile. What's up, Officer Reed? How things going around Clark Central, sir?
Fine, how you doing?
Doing good.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Did y'all get the food for the food court yet?
Another passion that Reed shares is his love of cooking. In fact, he owns his own barbecue business called Joker's Barbecue. Recently, Reed's business, Joker's Barbecue, catered the Clark versus Cedar mixer.
Oh, it's called Joker's Barbecue after my son. His name, we call him Joker. And I was at home one day, decided to venture out. It was one day after the summer.
Reed really enjoys to connect with students and be part of their lives.
You left your emotions out there on the field. That was your last game. That was a good job, bro. Appreciate it. How many yards did Aaron get? 107, something like that. August, getting that fresh set of ninth graders into that 4 years that they making it across the stage. You see them struggle through those years, and at the end of the day, May 19th or whatever the graduation date, see them on the other side getting that diploma. It's so rewarding, and to know that you had maybe just a little to do with that girl, that guy getting across that stage. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The name Mary Beth Tinker is often mentioned in many civics and political science classes, but many students aren't familiar with her story. In 1965, the then freshman wore a black armband to protest the Vietnam War. When suspended for violating the school district's newly established policy, Tinker's parents took the case all the way to the Supreme Court. Tinker, who recently spoke in Athens on November 4th, continues to advocate for First Amendment rights. Inspired by Tinker's words and story, Odyssey Editor-in-Chief Jenny Alpaugh offers commentary.
As part of the Tinker Tour, Tinker, along with Mike Heisen, a representative from the Student Press Law Center, spoke at the University of Georgia Law School on November 4th. I had learned about the Tinker v. Des Moines case in school, but it wasn't quite a tangible thing. They were just mere facts that I had to memorize for a test. But as Tinker spoke, the story began to transform. By December of 1965, more than 1,000 American soldiers had lost their lives in the Vietnam War. As a form of peaceful protest, Mary Beth Tinker, along with a few other students, decided to wear these black armbands to school. But a few days earlier, the school had decided that wearing armbands was against the school rules. Tinker was called to the principal's office, and they asked her to take off her armband. She did. Despite this, she was still suspended from school, and after parental conferences, her parents decided to sue the school. The case rose all the way to the Supreme Court, where it was decided that students and teachers don't lose their First Amendment rights at the school door. Tinker was only 13. She was young, she was afraid of repercussion, and she wasn't trying to change the world. But she did. Tinker took a stand on an issue, and her case sparked students all across the United States to stand up for their rights. This doesn't have to be a super elaborate and organized protest, but as students, we must advocate for ourselves and for others. If you're not happy with the school schedule, if you're not satisfied with the school dress code, if you aren't happy with something like poverty in Athens, then take a stand, say something, share your opinion. Change can happen, but something has to spark that change. How often in advisement are we given surveys that will let us share our opinion about a school policy or a change that's about to be made, and we just blow them off, we just fill them out as quickly as we can, or we dread and groan about the 5 minutes it takes to fill out this survey. But this is a tangible way for us to share our opinion about how our education is going to happen. Even before the schedule that Clark Central High School is currently using was put in place, surveys were sent out to students. Even though it may not always seem like these surveys are taken into account, this is a way for us to advocate for ourselves and to share our opinion. There is a parent, teacher, and student organization that meets every single month to talk about issues that are relevant to our school. In spite of this open forum, how often do students attend? Rarely you'll see multiple students. You'll see parents and teachers and some administration, but that student voice isn't always there. And this is a chance, this is a place where we can share our opinion and help impact the things that affect us every single day. Instead of simply complaining about what's going on around us, we have to take action. Whether it's going to a PTSO meeting for 20 minutes, taking a survey, and taking the time to fill out our honest opinion, we have to take action. Remember, it all started with a 13-year-old girl. Tinker changed the world by just taking a stand and wearing a simple black armband. And who knows, maybe the action you take today could lead to you touring the country and sharing your story. This has been Jenny Alpop with Odyssey Online.
Thank you for tuning in on this episode of ODTV. Follow us on Twitter at Odyssey News Mag. Like us on Facebook. Additional content can be found online at odysseynewsmagazine.net. This has been Jakim Ellison
and Michaela Richards
for Odyssey Online.